Okay, hi everybody. My name is Tina. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everybody's well. I want to take a minute, take a break from education and bring to everybody's attention that I got my hair cut. No, it's totally kidding. Um, I want to bring to everybody's attention this whole new value-based world and why we're living in this value-based world, why there was actually a shift from fee-for-service and value-based world, because I think it's important to understand why this is going on. Why are we all of a sudden being paid on performance? Well, the physicians are, the clinicians are getting paid on performance. Like, why is this happening? So I wanted to just take a second and go over a couple things with you. Thank you for allowing me to do so, by the way. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Okay. Hello. I don't have my stuff right. Hold on, sorry. What the hell? Alright, sorry. Value-based world. Why it's ruling. Why is there this theme of value-based care? It's risk and reward. That's the theme now. Going into the future is risk and reward. No more volume. It's you take a risk and you get a big reward. It's just like business, right? You take a big risk in business and you open up a business, and then there's going to be big rewards for you. But if you stay in your comfort zone and you don't come out of your box, you're not going to have much reward. I mean, so it's risk and reward. That's the deal. That's the new theme with our healthcare system today. And you know, the better your performance is, the higher your reward is. The poorer your performance is, the higher the penalty. I mean, this is why I'm doing this, because I don't want anybody to get penalties. So I've shown this slide before, but I'm going to show it again because it's very important, and I've actually added to the slide since I showed it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. That's how important this slide is. This is the future of healthcare right here. This is what was added. This next generation, this new next generation ACO in 2018. They're already coming out with a new one. This slide's important because this is all, for right now, this is all of the advanced alternative payment models that physicians can participate in. All of these. And I'm sure this list is going to grow. I mean, I'm almost positive. This is going to grow. And the ACO track 1, it's a big one. Remember, I talked about that. That's the bridge between MIPS and this. That's the entry ramp, that ACO track 1. This is big. Figure out where your patients are, which model do you want to participate in. They're incentivizing big for this, CMSs. So everybody's going to fall into this eventually. You're all going to be paid for taking a risk, and CMS is going to incentivize you big. As you know, with those, it's a 5% lump sum already, right off the top, just for participating. Forget about if you even do well in it, and of course you're going to do well in it. So patient care and ACOs, 28.3 million patients receive care from ACOs. That's a lot. That's a lot of patients. This number grew pretty substantially since 2012. I'm going to say, in my experience, 28.3 mil, that's a lot. It was much lower before the commercial insurance started going into ACO. See, that's the commercial's going to follow Medicare. I mean, this isn't new news. It's what they always do. So, oh, that's right. This number was about 11. It was 11 without commercial insurance. Now it's 28.3. There are 838 ACOs, and physicians have the option to participate 100% risk sharing arrangements if they want. Yep, that's all about next generation ACO. Next generation ACO, those participating providers take on 100% of the risk. 100%. ACO track, Medicare Shared Savings, ACO Track 3, 75% of the risk, and ACO Track 2, I believe 50% of the risk. that it's huge. And then they just came out with another, surprise surprise, another next generation ACO. Yeah, because they want you to take on the risk. They want you to take on the risk for patient outcomes. They want you to increase the patient outcomes. They want you to make sure you're taking care of the patients. And they want to see the data for it. They don't want you to just say you're doing it. They want to see the data now. And that's why your reimbursement now depends on your performance. So, and that's another reason why the other trend that's not in this video, but I'll say it here, is this consumerism trend. There's a consumerism trend. Yes, because think about it. If you're going to now be paid for performance and you're going to take on some percentage of risk for a 5% lump sum bonus, you're going to need your patients to participate, right? You're going to need your patients to participate. Now, I saw this firsthand on the Medicare Advantage side when the doctors, in order to get their incentives, they had to hit certain patient thresholds, and they lost a lot of incentive money because the patient didn't come in, or the patient, was non-compliant with the measure, or whatever. The point is the patients, you're going to have to work with your patients, in my opinion, creatively, in working together to hit these marks. To, number one, you want to take care of your patients. I know this. But why not get paid for it as well? Why not get paid for why you're taking on the risk? And number two, the patients are now demanding more of you because of how much money their bills are. I mean, again, this is no new news. The health insurance premiums are ridiculously expensive, and patients have higher demands now. And you have different patients now. Patients think differently now. You have the internet now. You have millennials now. They'll type in and they'll give you a 20-page report on whatever diagnosis you gave them, or let's just say for hypertension, or I don't know, a headache, and they're going to ask you questions. They're going to now challenge your diagnosis. They're not just going to say, as like an older baby boomer person will just say, do exactly what the doctor says. They're not like that anymore. The patients are different. The whole world is different, and especially in healthcare. So you're going to have to work together with your patients. Number one, to get better outcomes. And number two, so you can be reimbursed. Risk-sharing arrangements. So the Department of Health and Human Services, they want 50% of Medicare payments to alternative payment models by the end of 2018. I mean, we're already at the end of January. This is what they want. They want you in these. They want you to take on more risk, and they'll give you a reward. They're dangling the carrot. This is what they want you in. And I'm telling you, they're going to force everybody into this. 90% of all hospitals, fee-for-service, payments are tied to quality or value care by 2018. And they're going to come out with all, I'll tell you, this list is going to grow. I'm going to have it like this, like a Santa list. I'm telling you. And here's the health plans. Here's the health plans. 52% of their business will be tied to value-based care within 5 years' time. I actually think this number is low. I think that number is a little higher. So you have, they want you in alternative payment models. You have the hospitals following. And here you go with the health plans. So what does this all mean? Well, this means that everybody, hospitals and the health plans, in my opinion, need to be on board and tell their providers what is going on and why they need to take on more risk, and explain to them what MACRA means and what MACRA does and what's expected of them. This is all important. These providers need to know and be educated on this new MACRA law and the whole value-based care world. Don't leave them in the dark. Number one, you need them anyway. You need them to have high scores, right? So you have to educate them. You have to educate them on the way of the world now. This is the world they live in. They live in the value-based world. That's what this is all about. And it's important that if you're a health plan or if you're a hospital, you need to educate your providers. I mean, your finances depend on it, right? So that's what this video is on. And I will leave you with there's a lot of opportunity for clinicians in this new value-based world. And there's a lot of promise that the patients are going to get healthier. We need to make our patients healthier. Everybody's too sick. So there's a lot of dollars at stake, and we all need to work together. We all need to support each other in this whole new environment. So the faster you can let go of the old mindset of traditional medicine, and unfortunately every single thing you know, and I sympathize with you, I empathize. I can only imagine, 20 plus years of knowing something and now it's changed. But the faster you adapt, the more you can get on board, the more you can succeed, and your patient can succeed, which is the ultimate goal for everybody. Forget about the risk, forget about the reward, forget about that. It's about the patients. It's always about the patients, and it's always going to be about the patients. And when it's not, that's when problems come up. I mean, I think that's why we're here. That's why we're in this sick like nation, and we need to make everybody healthy, and wellness matters. So I hope that I was clear with why value-based care is the theme, and big risk equals big reward. Yep, that's definitely true. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money at stake. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in.